Audio. What's up, guys? I got a special guest here on this show today. Jaguars United. None other than the YouTube legend himself, UCF Jaguar. UCF, man, how's it going?
Keyword is special. I've been called special many times in my life, and I always appreciate that adjective to describe me.
Dude, we've had a pretty great week. We've kind of talking about doing this live show the last couple of days, and I gotta say, I was pretty excited.
You got your volume.
Is that
on.
me?
That's you.
I thought it was you.
No,
it was me. That's funny. So I've been looking forward to this for a long time, dude. So I'm glad that you're here, man. I appreciate you stopping by here in Jacksonville in the Matt Jones studio, which we've.
I know. I got to touch it.
How did it feel?
It feels surreal.
Does it feel good?
It doesn't feel like I actually did it, but I did it.
Well, before we jump into what you thought about training camp today, Joel Mundy, the £12.99 donation.
That's pretty sick.
Which I have to.
Yeah, you got volume coming from
everywhere.
Just go to the video. I got you.
This one right here.
Yeah, do that one.
Gotcha. Look at me, dude.
All right.
Dude, that's what happens when you have a pro here, dude.
Studio telling you how to do all this stuff.
Dude, that's because you're a YouTube pro. That's why, dude.
I didn't sign up for this.
So, Joel Mundy, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate that. All right, UCF. So, what do you think, man? You were at training camp today. You got to see it with your own eyes. I saw some stuff on Twitter, but tell me with your own eyes what you thought.
It was cool, man. I mean, they started off, and it was just a lot of just individual stuff. There wasn't a lot of, it wasn't like offense versus defense stuff. It was just like, okay, the tight end is going to run their drills, wide receiver their drills. And then they did that for about 40, 45 minutes. And at the very end there, they did scrimmaging. And unfortunately, they didn't let me film it. I actually got yelled at when I was filming, but it was cool, man. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was great. It was great because the first time I went to the training camp practice, Trevor Lawrence was having kind of a low day, so I was like, dang, I didn't really get to see him. But man, he looked sharp. I mean, he was hitting everybody. Colin Johnson, like with Marvin Jones and DJ Chark weren't playing today, so he was hitting like really Colin Johnson, and even Pharaoh Cooper was like a big target of his. So I mean, it was just great to see him out there throwing a ball good, and it was cool over the intercom. I mean, the first time I've actually heard like, okay, we've got like 45 seconds left, first and 10 from the 45, you have one timeout, and they would like play through it. I've never seen anything like that, which was so cool. So
they're like announcing like kind of what was going on, like the situations that they were in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool because I mean, like, because I've been to, Jack Del Rio training camps. I've been to Gus Bradley, Doug Marrone, and I mean, there wasn't a lot of like difference, but I mean, this is a different training camp. And people say, oh, it reminds them of a college atmosphere, but I mean, it's a good atmosphere to me. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, like, Urban Meyer can't treat these guys like kids, and I'm like, I don't think he's doing that at all, because it's cool because he does a lot of one-on-one work. And I mean, I don't think players are going to be offended by him going one-on-one with, like, because I saw him before practice. It was like Darren Agumbawale. He's doing stuff with him. Then like Josh Jones, it's like, it doesn't matter where you are in a depth chart. Like, he's going to work with you, and it's something cool to see.
So you mentioned the receivers were out. You said Marvin Jones is out. DJ Chark was out, correct?
Yeah.
Tebow's out. We're going to name him, I guess, in the receivers as well, too. So who, like you said, Pharaoh Cooper picked up the slack. Is there any of those guys you think are going to be like kind of a part of the team now, and like a guy that maybe you before thought wasn't going to make the team, and you think maybe now he will?
I think Laquan Treadwell actually has a real chance because he was out there. I mean, he was like when they were running like they were doing some quarterback wide receiver stuff, and like Treadwell was the first guy out there throwing with Lawrence in the drill. Then he was also with the ones during the practices. I think going back, like, his big downfall has just been like he drops the ball a lot, which obviously, I mean, you gotta improve that. And even today, he had some good grabs. At one, like, he was running like a fly route, at the right sideline, and then it was a good throw by Lawrence, but he slowed down. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's probably just little things like that. I mean, he's a big body receiver, which it appears that's kind of what Urban likes in a receiver, is a big guy. But yeah, those are kind of a couple observations I had.
Yeah, they definitely have seemed to move away from the small, speedy type receiver.
Yeah.
Bringing in guys that are kind of bigger, taller. Where do you think Colin Johnson is kind of going to shake out now on this roster? Like, I know a lot of Jags fans are pretty big on him. It's like, where do you see him kind of breaking down now in this roster?
I think because when the special team unit went out there, he was like the first on the field. So he's with like what is right now the starting special teams unit. So I mean, I think he's probably a 5th or 6th receiver. I don't think you can hide him on a practice squad. So I think he's going to, with his upside, he's going to make it. And he had some good grabs today. He did have one drop, but man, it's just the wide receiver room is. It's pretty crazy. It's crowded right now, and obviously, I think one thing in preseason and stuff like that is like I think we probably overrate receivers just because they're getting thrown the ball and it's like, oh, he had a good juke move and everything. But it seems to me it's a pretty crowded receiver room. Like I don't think Dorsett makes a team. I think Laquan Treadwell has a real chance. I don't think Jalen Camp makes it. I just haven't seen enough from him. But I think Colin Johnson will be on the team as like a 5th or 6th guy.
So what? We're kind of talking about receivers here, and I appreciate the people that are in the chat.
You got to give a shout out to Charlie Boy. He's
Charlie Boy.
We were talking about you earlier.
We were, Charlie Boy. We were talking about you. I definitely saw your donation at the end of the stream. It was like I was telling UCF Jaguar, like literally, I was like, all right, and go Jags. And then it comes up, and I like hit end stream, and I was like, no. And I was trying to like take it back, and I couldn't. So Charlie Boy, I do appreciate it, man. Shout out to you for being someone that watches probably both of our streams there. Patrick Jackson in the chat, and this is the first show he's seen in a while because typically we do night shows.
Oh yeah,
and
we don't do many 3 o'clock on Saturday shows.
So this is cool. This kind of worked out. I'm pretty pumped. But Patrick, good to see you. Good. Hey, Patrick has a podcast called the Long Snapper NFL Podcast. If you can understand what they're saying, like if you listen really closely between their thick British accents, they're actually like really good football commentators, I gotta say, and they're pretty funny too.
Yeah, I gotta stay tuned to that. I'm not around many like British accents or anything, so it'll probably take me by surprise.
It takes a minute, but they're good for sure. Robert Atzert says Taven is fast and juking. Taven, like the receiver, Taven, not Taven Bryan.
Taven, yeah.
We're gonna have to like get used to seeing that.
Yeah, we're on the last name basis with Taven Austin. We can't just be throwing out first names and assuming it's not Taven Bryan.
In the Taven Austin thing, I loved him, dude. His college highlight might be the best college highlight. If you're rewatching this, if you're watching the live show, don't look away. If you're rewatching this, open another tab and type in Taven Austin college highlights. It will change your life. The best college highlights I think that exist on earth.
Yeah, he was a very good like college type of because he's just this the short. It's almost like I know it doesn't really compare, but like D.D. Westbrook in college, like his highlight film was it was unreal. It's just sometimes the stuff it just doesn't translate into the NFL when it comes to some of the size. Like he wasn't a bigger guy, and he got drafted to the Rams. He was kind of unperforming, and then like they give him a big contract later on, and kind of it was almost like a Blake Bortles contract where it's like, okay, like we got to re-sign some of our draft picks, so they kind of sign him back. But we'll see where his place is. It's just a lot of times when you get these guys in, it's like Laquan Treadwell and Phil Dorsett. You don't get too excited about him just because like he's had so many teams' jerseys on. Yeah. But I don't know. Like we'll see with Taven Austin.
Coming out of college, Laquan Treadwell, like Taven Austin, was pretty highly regarded. So, hopefully they just can kind of come back to it. Aspect, when talking about the accents, says, us UK fans have gotten used to the American accent already.
Yeah, Aspect is a member, and like I've actually talked with him on like a member-only Zoom call type of thing. And he'll get on. I'll do like a 9 o'clock one. It'll be like 2 a.m. over there. It's just a degenerate, just staying up late and just like talking Jaguars. It's good stuff.
I gotta feel like it's a small community over there of like Jaguar fans because it's like over here, like you'll bump into one every once, walking around. Over there, like if you find a Jags fan, you're probably like, oh, nice, let's do this. So appreciate the UK fans that are here.
It's probably like finding a Jaguar fan in Orlando. It's just. You'd be surprised. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, Orlando's close to Jacksonville," but it's also Orlando's right in the middle of like all the NFL cities, and Orlando isn't super big on sports,
and especially coming off of Tampa Bay's Super Bowl, I imagine that they're all Buccaneers fans.
Well, it was just like and then like I remember when I first went to UCF, it was like LeBron and like Dwayne Wade and all them. It was like the super team, and it was like, oh my god, look at all these Heat fans. And all of a sudden they leave, and I'm like, where are all the Heat fans? At least in Jacksonville, like the jerseys stay around and like the shirts stay around. Of course, people get fed up with losing all the time, but at least they stay around.
All right, so I got to ask you about C.J. Henderson because the big news for me today was that C.J. Henderson was finally practicing.
Yeah.
Right. So Urban Meyer made him a spectacle by putting his exercise bike in front of the team. Literally made it known that we don't want any soft prima donnas around here. I think that was his intent of doing all that. So what happened with C.J. Henderson? How did he look? Did you get to see him or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean he was with the backups during the scrimmage. I was really keying in on him during the stretches when they kind of do the dynamic stretching, when they do 20 yards down the field or whatever. And then I was trying to look at his body language, but I don't know. You can't read his body language because he could be the happiest guy in the world and just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, he of course his body language it didn't look great, but that's just I don't know. C.J. Henderson is the extreme introvert. As from what I get from him, and I don't know. I mean, he's a good player. There's no doubt in that. It's just all about as all this Jag fans know, there's just something that we feel like is going on with him, and a lot of us think it's probably mental health or something like that. And we don't like to assume stuff, but I mean, we can just throw it out there that maybe that's going on, and we can't confirm any of it. But I mean, I know it got a lot of people shout at me for my last video because I was I don't know what's going on with C.J. Henderson. I'm concerned about him. Maybe it's this. I don't know for sure. Then people are like, oh, you don't need to be bashing him like that. It's I'm not bashing. I have literal, concerns about him, and I want him to be great. I do. He's on the Jaguars. He was a first-round pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I really want to, throw out the whole don't draft forward players in the first round thing. But it's man, history just repeats itself.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about on our last show we did together about when he was drafted. He was stoic face, and it was just
yeah,
do you even want to be here? And but he's just that type of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
no matter where he got drafted, because it's where would he want to go? Does he want to go to New York? No. I mean,
yeah,
he would be. And if he was in New York, if he was pulling this stuff, it would just be oh my god,
yeah.
It would be getting blown up way more than over here in Jacksonville.
For sure. B New in the chat says Duval. And he gives a $10 donation.
What up, B-New?
Thank you, B-New. He says he's supporting the team. He's just supporting the team. I appreciate it, B-New.
Gotta support the team.
I'm pumped that UCF Jaguars here. I mean, this is what? This is our second show we've actually done in person in 2 years.
Yeah, second
show. We're on a one show a year in person streak right now.
We did a stream a week before Week 1 of 2018. We're yeah, we feel good about Nick Foles.
We're not going to tell people about that.
Yeah, it's not injury prone, guys. But it's funny. I put on a Instagram last week. I don't know if this is bad or not, but I was like, oh, we all thought that that Nick Foles is bad for only lasting a quarter. Nick Foles didn't even last a week of practice.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, at least Nick Foles has on his injury. He did throw a bomb to DJ Chark.
And the thing is, I don't wish injury on anybody. I don't. But his injury, Carson Wentz's injury, is funny to me because it's okay, he just had a bone loose in his foot from high. What? Yeah. What kind of injury is that?
No, something's fishy about that.
And he's kind of I don't like him as a player just because he's I don't want to if he has any sort of competition in a quarterback room, he wants out.
Yeah.
And he's oh, I don't want to, who was it? He's no, I don't want to play with Doug Peterson. They fired Doug Peterson. Oh, I don't want to play in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Get real with yourself.
Well, I didn't honestly. I had got to give credit to the Ringer NFL podcast. I was listening to it, and this never crossed my mind. And I'm surprised it didn't. But can you imagine the Colts bringing in Nick Foles to supplant crazy. Carson Wentz?
I want that so bad.
And then literally that's if you remember, Carson Wentz got hurt after he was having an MVP season with the Eagles. Gets hurt late in the season. Foles comes in and leads the team to the Super Bowl. Foles is the hero. Wentz is forgotten. Can you imagine if that happened?
And then literally right outside the stand, there's a statue of Nick Foles. And then he's all right, I'm out of here. I'm out of Nick Foles. And all of a sudden, Nick Foles comes. Oh, my God. I want that to happen just because I want the quarterback drama. I don't know this. But it's crazy. I wonder. But the thing is, it's is Indianapolis that much worse from it? I don't think, Carson Wentz was the worst quarterback in the NFL last year.
Yeah.
He threw the most interceptions.
Yep.
He took the most sacks. His mechanics are just atrocious. And he's one of those quarterbacks I was always hoping okay, Blake Bortles, he's gonna fix his mechanics, he's gonna be okay. But some of these guys when you're so mechanically bad. And the big thing is about footwork, man.
Yeah.
It's not about even the throwing motion. It's like some of these guys, like, and I see the same issue with like Drew Lock with the Denver, like they don't set their feet.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand, like, it feel. I mean, I've never been a quarterback before, but it just feels like in my head, it's like, man, like you're in a wide open pocket. Why can't you just set your feet and throw it? It's like they just don't do it.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it sails on them.
It's like what happens is like when you're coaching, because I've been privileged to coach some quarterbacks, and like what happens is these quarterbacks are so athletic that they like depend on their athleticism to make plays.
Yeah.
So like if they're like they see a small window that's maybe not ideal, they think maybe they can just like lean their body off balance, use their arm strength, and get the ball where it needs to go. And they see the play happen before it's there, and so they're confident in their throw, and they're so athletic that they just like will try to make the throw, and then you realize that you're playing against a defense that's also equally athletic, and they can intercept the ball, bat it down, things like that if you don't set your feet. But you see guys like Russell Wilson get away with it every once in a while. Kyler Murray gets away with it.
And I'm noticing like Zach Wilson right now, like he's kind of like the arm talent guy. And, like, I mean, he's made some really good throws in, like, training camp from what I've seen. But I wonder if, like, and I haven't done a deep dive on Zach Wilson just because I haven't had to. But
and he hasn't played that much.
Yeah, but, like, I wonder if, like, he might be one of those guys that, okay, it's fine if you don't set your feet when you're throwing the ball way deep. But, if you need to fit it within a seam, like, is it going to – I don't know. It'll be – and, of course, like, we're going to be looking closely at this quarterback class just because it's the class that Trevor Lawrence was in.
Yep.
And then, we'll always compare – these different quarterbacks to each other. So I don't know. And it was a crime that they put that Jags-Jets game like week 16.
Yeah, December 26th.
That should have been like. I mean, you can't beat their week 1 game like Darnold versus Jets, but we should have been a
Early.
First month of the season type of thing when both teams are relevant, because I don't think both teams are going to be relevant in like week 16, and then. It just would have so much cooler meaning before then.
I think that Thursday night slot against the Bengals would have been perfect.
Yeah, it would have been good.
And now we're playing the Bengals.
I mean, it's not all that bad because Joe Burrow and Lawrence.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, dude, like, Jaguars need to protect. Because,
Lawrence.
like, right now, Joe Burrow.
I know where you're going with this.
Joe Burrow is not having a good camp. Like, apparently, like, throws last year that were just, like, layups for him are just, like, sailing on him.
Oh,
like,
no.
He hasn't been good right now. And, like, I mean. And that's the thing, because I was talking, because like when you look at like Walker Little, it's like, okay, perfect scenario, we get a 2nd round pick, he's going to replace Cam Robinson next year, but then it's like the most valuable asset for the Jaguars, more valuable than Urban Meyer or anybody in the organization is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like, it's different if you're messing around with a nose tackle and you draft the guy to, say Marcel Darce is on the team and you draft the nose tackle in the 3rd round. It's like, okay, next year they'll. But this is like we have to put the best 5 out there, and like we just can't be. And our offensive line is not near as bad as the Bengals were last year, but I mean they need to do everything they can to protect Lawrence, because like, man, that's the only way I see Trevor Lawrence busting, is if like we destroy him like that.
So I mean that leads to a good point. Like, so they played Walker Little the last 2 days. Have gotten a lot of work at right tackle.
Today he got all the work at right tackle.
Right.
Like during warm-ups, during the scrimmage, all reps at right tackle.
So Leon Searcy yesterday said he looked a little funky playing right tackle. How did he look to you today playing right tackle? I mean, he said that about him yesterday.
Yeah.
So how do you feel he played today?
I mean, he seemed fine. I mean, I don't know. I'm not Leon Searcy. I'll have to take his, because I wasn't looking close.
Right.
Close. I would like Keon. I mean, like I would see him go against a Josh Allen. He would go against him, pretty well. But from where I was, like I don't know enough about offensive lineman technique and
But it didn't look like he was getting like abused over there.
No, definitely not.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean,
it's going to be new for him, because I think he played all left tackle and he hasn't played football in 2 years. So like, and I know, just from players, like when you switch from one tackle position to another, it's a whole, it feels like a whole different thing.
Aspects asking, has Walker Little been looking great or been looking good? And we were talking about him just now. The videos that have surfaced about him, I mean, he looks like he's going to be a starter on this team pretty soon. I mean, you see things out of him that we haven't seen out of a tackle in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, just like him overpowering people, him just bullying people. Like literally, like the videos with Clavon Chazon, where he's like swallowing him.
Yeah.
Like we haven't seen that in a long time. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's very optimistic for me. Seeing him there, the video looks good. He's catching defenders with his body, which is like they teach linemen to kind of keep their hands extended and keep their hands out because that gives you more leverage. But that's a classic rookie mistake. I mean, when you're facing the NFL speed for the first time, you're not going to be as quick. There is a sharp learning curve for rookie offensive linemen. I mean, that's it's the position besides quarterback that I think has the steepest learning curve is offensive line. So I think Walker Little playing as well as he is good for us. I don't see him. He could be a swing right tackle, but I think him at left tackle would be just the perfect scenario. And the question would come down to who's better at protecting Lawrence, Cam Robinson or Walker Little. And I guess you have to just answer that question. That's what the Jags are trying to do, I guess, right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Like, we just have to. I mean, we have some preseason coming up. Man, I've never been so excited for preseason. It's just like, like usually I'm just like, I hate preseason because it's like, I mean, just the past few years, I mean, like when Nick Foles was here, that was the last time we had preseason, which is crazy to think. Like, they didn't play any starters. Like, they were so, and I hope, like, do you hope Lawrence plays week 1 against the Browns?
Week 1 or preseason game?
I mean,
the preseason. Yeah, so preseason, I want him to play a couple of drives. I mean,
I'm tired of like protecting the starter. And it's like, dude, come on. Like, you have a 17-game schedule.
Yeah.
Get Lawrence in there. Get like, if you get injured, I mean, I don't want to, and I don't think anything I say on here is going to happen. I don't believe in the superstitious stuff.
Right.
But the Jaguars, they've been pretty, like, Urban Meyer came in here and did the whole health, took a real emphasis on training because the Jaguars had a lot of injuries in the past. I mean, they've been going by pretty well with injuries, just like minor stuff here and there, which is going to happen on a team. So just go out there and, run him with the starting offensive line, obviously. I don't want him out there with, the
backups.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want him in there with backups. But, I mean, go in there, play, and, let's see him.
So in the chat, Robert Adsert talking about Joe Burrow. He says Joe Burrow flinches when you get too close to his leg.
That's. I mean, I can't imagine that. I mean, when you're rehabbing the leg so much, and all of a sudden you're in live bullets, dude. I can't. I mean, I've never had that kind of injury. I feel like I would be freaked out.
Yeah, it's like subconsciously. It's like he's not doing it on purpose. It's like, dude, I've spent literally the last 6 months of my life
just
babying
like
this knee.
And like
and now I have to act like nothing's wrong.
Like, you can't hit the corner of a wall with it. And now like you're going up against like
guys trying to tackle you.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Patrick Jackson says the Carson Wentz situation was 100% predictable as soon as he signed, and he also said and asks, and I think he's asking you because you're more reputable. He says thoughts on the way Gardner has talked about the quarterback room.
I mean, I haven't heard him. I'll be honest. I haven't listened to Gardner Minshew's press conferences. Well, mainly reason why is because like I don't listen to a lot of players. I like listening to Urban Meyer and the coordinators. But dude, like I can do a press conference for like Laviska Shenault comes out there. Hey, how have you liked Trevor Lawrence? Oh, he's been great, man. He's been
I know.
Very accurate. He's been great leader. Oh, like. How do you feel about like Marvin Jones? Oh, he's a great veteran. He's been around the game. I can, what I mean? Like
exactly.
I can telegraph.
Right.
I wish we could get like raw versions of like, oh, how do you really feel?
Like Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. And like, I mean, I didn't listen to Gardner Minshew's press conference. I mean, he looked good today. I will say that. His whole issue is just like, he's. I don't know. He just gets a little bit flustered. He was getting flustered last year, man. Like, once you got the pressure in there, he's very good if he's like, you come in there with a game script for him. Like, he came in and really lit it up. Like, the first game he would go in there. But then it's just easy to scout against him. You know what I mean? When it comes to just take away his biggest receiver, and there's different throws that they can't make that, they kind of force him to do. So, I don't know. I mean, keep him as a backup. I don't think that we're going to get the kind of trade value that a lot of Jaguar fans want to get out of him. But, yeah, I mean, we'll just wait to see if a team gets desperate, what kind of move. Because we have him under contract for 2 more seasons. So, just hold him.
Would this statement be correct to you, in your opinion? The most impressive player at training camp this year so far has been Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, he's been pretty impressive.
Would you agree with that?
Probably, yeah.
Because I think Walker Little is up there.
Yeah.
But I literally think people are more impressed with Gardner. I mean, because the narrative on Gardner Minshew has completely changed.
Yeah.
Like from before training camp, I mean, when we drafted Trevor Lawrence, it was like Gardner's old news, trade him for a sixth, cut him, don't care, get him out of here. To now people are like, whoa. Let's not get rid of him for nothing.
Even me. I was about to trade him for this Matt Jones jersey.
but now people are like, okay, maybe we could actually get like a third out of his play at training camp. And look, I have admittedly, I'm not one of these guys. I am not for Jags Twitter. I am not one of these guys that's Gardner should start. By no means do I think Gardner should start a single game this year. But I have always said that Gardner will be a decent starter for another team, and I seriously believe that. And here's my reasoning: he almost looked like that with one of the worst rosters I've ever seen. Like he almost looked like a legit starting quarterback in the NFL. With one of the absolute worst rosters assembled I have ever seen in the NFL. So put him on a team that has like a decent amount of playmakers, and I think he could give you at least like some productivity. Yeah. So, again, not saying start him, but don't trade him for sixth. Keep him as a backup. If Gardner goes down for 2 weeks, rolls his ankle, and if Trevor Lawrence goes down for 2 weeks with a rolled ankle,
don't you say that.
And Gardner, let's say it's week 11 and 12, right? It happens. It's the NFL, right?
I'm scared. I don't want Trevor Lawrence to get hurt.
It's naive to think he's going to go through the whole season without a nick or knack or ding.
Trevor Lawrence is Superman. He's got the long Jesus hair.
So, I mean, if he goes down for a week in week 11, he just wants to rest his ankle. Maybe Urban Meyer's giving him some. Okay, how about we call it this? Urban Meyer is giving him some. What's it called in basketball? The planned rest or whatever it is. They give you like
veteran rest.
No, they give you like a scheduled like day off or something like that. You know.
I mean, they did that in training camp.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say they do that in like week 12 because the Jags are like 10-0. If Gardner comes in and the team's rolling, Gardner can win this game.
That's
like
true.
You're not gonna have any drop off in hope.
The thing is the scary thing is the drop off from Gardner Minshew to the next guy is pretty steep.
CJ Beathard.
From what we've seen in training camp, it's been like, I mean, it looks like there's two quarterbacks out there. Like, I don't know, like, there's CJ Beathard and Jake Luton. I mean, they haven't made any throw. I'm like, okay, which one is number 3 and 6? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I mean, Luton, I guess, has looked pretty bad from what everyone's saying. Yorkshire Jags with the £449
so you've got
donation.
Some pounds today,
bro. I'm a big pounder.
You're getting the good kind of pounds.
I'm a pounder. And he has this question. And I'll let you answer this because I know you're a huge CJ Henderson fan.
Big time.
He says, what's your feeling is going on with CJ Henderson?
Honestly, today, I was just so happy to see him out there. I think that was a huge step for me because there were people telling me on Twitter like, oh, he's just in the COVID protocol. Like I'm like, just get him on the field. Get him on the field because because the thing was, he had the weirdest injury. He got put on the IR with a groin injury, and then he's like missing OTAs with his shoulder. Like, what happened with his shoulder? Like, no one discussed that. What happened with his shoulder? His shoulder was hurt, and then all of a sudden he goes into training camp and he's still hurt, and all of a sudden he gets put on the reserve COVID. I'm like, okay, like, just get on the field. And he was on the field. I think that's a positive step. So I mean, I'm pretty excited for that. And we'll just, I mean, what's feeling going on with CJ Henderson? I mean, he's on the field now, so I feel pretty good now. He'll work his way back into, because I don't know if Tyson Campbell is super ready to start just yet, because from what I've seen, like, he's been pretty good in like man coverage. He's got pretty good closing speed.
Yes.
But he's getting a little bit lost in the zone coverage is my feeling. And they picked on him just a little bit, but I mean, you can't coach the closing speed and stuff like that. So
that's true. And even his Georgia film, he definitely was more of a man coverage guy and excelled more in man coverage. I thought the Jags were going to go to a more man coverage scheme, to be honest with you. And then they bring in Shaq Griffin, who's more known as a zone coverage guy. But CJ Henderson is more of a man. I mean, he can do both, but he's better at man, in my opinion. And I think CJ Henderson is definitely going to be a guy that does better than people think, because like we forget because he was hurt, but like he's actually a really good corner.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so
he's very
let's
good.
say the Jags reached and they drafted him at 9 way too early. Okay, I'll give you that argument. So what? Maybe he should have been, if the Jags mega reached and he should have been drafted at 15 or 20. That's still really high. Like, that's still really good. And I think this guy just has a huge ceiling, and I'm excited for him. It's AJ20 with five
pounds, dude.
pounds, bro. I'm gonna legit. Honestly, it might be because my logo is a shield and it looks.
Dude,
like
how old are you right now? You said
I'm
you're
32.
Yeah. Say when you turn 32, you put on some pounds. No, you're putting on the super chat pounds.
Thank you. Thank you guys. It's AJ 21 with the £5 donation. What's your thoughts on Chazon and how he's been looking recently? I'll let
he
you
was
take
good
that
today.
one.
He was good today.
I've heard that.
He had like one play. He was literally guarding Tyler Davis like 20 yards down the sideline, and he broke up the pass. Very next play, he got a sack.
Wow.
Which is, I mean, we're just looking for something out of him. And, like, I mean, he was a first-round pick last year. And, I mean, the thing is, like, he's like a polar opposite from C.J. Henderson. Because, like, you see him, he's, like, you know, bumping the music. He looks super into everything, while C.J. Henderson's, like, you know what I mean? Looks like he saw a dead person. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm feeling better. I made a video just a few days ago about players trending up and down. And then, you know, a couple of my downs were C.J. Henderson and Chazon. They're trending up now.
How things change.
Taven Bryan is still down. I don't think you can tell me. You can you know, inspire me enough to bring him back up. But then I put DJ Chark as a low key down, just because
I'm with you there.
It was just because, like, he hasn't been doing a lot in training camp.
Yeah. And
then Urban Meyer's really been working on him one-on-one, and it excites a lot of people. But for me, it's like, okay, why isn't he doing that with Laviska Shenault?
Yeah.
Or like Colin Johnson, or Marvin Jones. It's like, you know, I think he sees some great things out of DJ Chark, and obviously he has the most potential on the team,
right,
with his body and his speed and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, does he feel like he's not satisfied with what he's given at practice and he needs, you know what I mean? And that was a little bit of a reach, but I just wanted to put it out there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Would it surprise you? If Urban Meyer? I'll create a scenario for you. Let's say the Jags go 8-8. I'm sorry, 9-8.
Yeah. No.
Let's say the Jags go 9-8. Would it surprise you if Urban Meyer drafted a receiver in the first round next year?
No, hell no. I wouldn't. Besides quarterback, I don't think there's any.
I mean, going and getting his guy, guy because, dude, like I've talked about, Urban's a receivers coach. Like, that's his forte. It would not
DJ Chark's contract year too.
That's true. So it's a big year for him.
Yeah.
Josu Rivera with the $5 donation. Dude, you guys are too nice today, man. This is insane. I need to have you come to Jacksonville more often. We can split the profits. This is great.
There we go.
Josu Rivera with the $5. Thank you, Josu. I appreciate you as always. He says, with Camp and Treadwell playing well, what is our final wide receiver roster in your opinion?
Oof.
Didn't know Treadwell was a first-round pick.
Yeah, he's a Vikings, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to have a roster in front of me because a lot of wide receivers have been doing good, but I mean, obviously there's roster locks: DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones. What is it? Is there another obvious? Yeah, let's pull up a roster.
Yeah. I mean, so who did you name? Name him again.
I mean, it was
Chark,
Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones are all roster locks.
Those are top three roster locks. I think Colin Johnson's a roster lock. In my opinion.
Yeah, probably.
So then who's your kick returner? Are you getting Agnew? Is Agnew getting kick returner?
I mean, Agnew has to be
because he's getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
but today, Agnew's out, so they've been putting Pharaoh Cooper there. And Pharaoh Cooper had a really good day at So
Agnew
hit position. Yeah.
So Agnew is a lock, right, for you?
Yeah.
I mean, he is for me.
Yeah, I mean, he's
so that's 5.
But is he a cornerback?
No, he's a receiver. He's a receiver.
But his designation is CB/wide receiver.
Okay, well, then maybe that's how they'll justify keeping another one. Because these are who we haven't named so far. Taven Austin, Jalen Camp, Pharaoh Cooper, Philip Dorsett, Josh Hammond, Josh Imatur-Borbe.
That sucks. He's been injured, but I was really hoping to see that guy.
Tim Jones and Laquan Treadwell. So out of those, one guy makes it.
Okay.
Maybe 2. Maybe I haven't seen the designation of cornerback. So let's take Agnew out of this, and let's put roster locks. We'll both agree on this. Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark, Marvin Jones Jr., Colin Johnson. Yeah. Those are 4 roster locks. Okay. So then you got 2 after that. Maybe a third.
So probably for me, it'd probably be Treadwell and Cooper.
Okay, so Camp's the odd man out.
I think Camp's like the practice squad type of guy.
I don't think Jalen Camp survives a practice squad. I think if he goes on practice squad, if a guy like Alan Lazard gets snatched, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind a guy like Jalen Camp gets snatched.
Alan Lazard, I think, was a little better than Jalen Camp.
Do you, though?
I think so. I think Jalen can get hidden on a because I mean the Lazard just had a much better wide receiver body. I mean Jalen Camp might be big and buff.
6'2", 220.
Dang, he's 6'2". I didn't realize he was that tall.
I mean, he's a big boy. He's 23, so I mean he's on the older end of receivers. I mean, he's literally a year younger than DJ Chark, which is kind of crazy to think about.
He's like a Georgia Tech guy. So.
Yeah,
it's funny. Like when he signed his rookie deal, he just looked like the nerdiest dude. Like, as he had his glasses on. I mean, he just looked like a Georgia Tech guy.
All right, we got a bunch of comments here. I'm way behind. We jumped in chat numbers quickly.
I know, look at that.
I don't know how that happened, but I appreciate you guys all being here. I'm going to try to get to some of the comments here. Like I always say this on my channel. Maybe not you, because you don't care about the people as much as me. I'm just kidding.
Clearly
I always say if it's a good comment, just repost it. Like, people are always self-conscious about, I already typed that. Who cares? Type it again. I see people in my chat sometimes type the same thing 3 times, and I miss it just because it goes. And then they'll donate me $5 and put it for the 4th time. Yeah. I'm like, I'm definitely reading this. But Peter Siemens, who I've never recognized before, so I want to get to his question. Yeah. He says, Treadwell or Colin Johnson? If you're a coach, who do you put out there if you're the coach?
God, Treadwell just has so much, just been cut by this team, cut by that team. Man, I'd probably keep Colin Johnson. How old is Treadwell?
Treadwell's 28.
28? Yeah, so is that a little too old to be playing special teams and stuff?
As a return? No,
I don't
26.
I don't
He's
mean
26. I'm sorry.
Okay, 26.
Yeah.
I don't mean as a returner, but I mean front line, blocking a kick return type of thing.
I think they're going to keep max 6 receivers.
Yeah.
And however you dice it.
They're not. I think they definitely, it's locked in at 6 receivers. Because I think there's too many to have only 5.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I mean, then you got to make that up somewhere else. I mean,
you can take away a tight end. Our tight end room is
I talked about tight ends, and everyone's telling me we're keeping 5 because of Urban's 3 tight end sets. So
yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. I don't know.
Please don't yell. Please don't yell is actually I don't subscribe to a lot of channels, right? And if I do, they're either sports or something else. I only subscribe to one comedy YouTube channel, and it's Please Don't Yells.
Oh, there you go.
So subscribe to it. It's hilarious. Hilarious. He says, people forget that we paid Lazard a $40,000 bonus to sign here. So he was kind of sought after, even as an undrafted player.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I forgot about that. That's a good point. Very good point.
I didn't even know that. So,
well, there you go. Patrick Jackson says, it bodes well that we're struggling to pick our wide receiver because loads of them are doing well rather than because we don't have anyone worth keeping.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I think, and the thing is, I think the wide receiver stuff is going to play out in the preseason, when it comes to the 5th and 6th guy. Because, we've seen it in the past, guys have good games, bad games, and then just really, emerge. And we've even seen people have, Allen Hurns had a monster preseason.
Yeah.
And, we could have some, and there could be a guy on here, like Tim Jones, not even talking about, just go off.
The Southern Miss rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Tim Jones. I actually don't hate Tim Jones. I haven't watched a bunch of film on him.
I know. I know exactly who he is.
Zach Lyon says, UCF, I caught you slipping watching the Jags podcast yesterday. LOL.
Watching the Jags podcast? Which one?
You have to take it up with Zach.
I don't know. Which podcast? I don't know what was yesterday. Oh, the Jaguars.com, the YouTube channel?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm watching a podcast, but I don't know which podcast. It was, I know. Yeah. It was which one? It was Jaguars Thursday. So it was 2 days ago. Zach, you got it. I'm a number man. I'm a very schedule-oriented guy. You can't just say yesterday when it was 2 days ago.
Got him on the technicality.
Yeah.
DJM says y'all should do this more often. I've been trying to get him up here, man. This guy is...
It's a far drive,
dude,
man.
He's a consultant now, okay? His time is very, very valuable.
I actually rode a golf cart here. It took forever. So it just takes a while.
I'm just glad that you didn't charge me your consulting price for you to get here, because God knows I couldn't afford that. But maybe with these pound donations, maybe I can, actually.
I know. Look at all these pounds, bro.
Oh, I love it. Magic Fan Ben says, I feel like I haven't heard Colin Johnson's name at all during camp.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
I also haven't heard DJ Chark's name during it. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people.
I mean, today Colin Johnson got his chance for the ones, and he did good. He had one drop. He had some really good grabs by Trevor. I mean, him and Farrah Cooper were the two big wide receivers today, in my opinion.
You know who had a connection with Farrah Cooper? It was Jake Luton with his one reception for a touchdown to Farrah Cooper.
Oh yeah, I see you, Luton. Rooting for Luton.
That's right.
One guy called into my show and he said he bought like a Luton jersey.
That was actually Jake Luton himself.
Probably.
That was actually Jake Luton calling into your shows.
Hello, this is John Luton.
Okay, like
calling to talk about Jake Luton.
Like I kind of wanted to see if you wanted to take a break and come back if you were cool with that.
Yeah, of course.
Before I do that though, I just want to ask you, like, if you were a guy like Jake Luton, would you kind of like try to hype yourself up on like YouTube channels and things like that?
I don't know.
I feel like I would.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Like I feel like if I was Jake Luton and I'm probably gonna get cut and like I feel like I would do. I mean, what else is he gonna do with his life? Why not pop into a YouTube channel under a burner and be like, yo, dude, Jake Luton's actually kind of sick.
Exactly.
Like, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him. I don't know anything about. I don't even know what he looks like. But
you remember his game that he started for us?
Yeah,
last year?
I remember the rushing touchdown he had against Houston. That was the one game I went to, and I was scared to death we were gonna win.
Oh, I love it. All right, well, if you're cool, let's take a quick 2-minute break, use the restroom, real quick little refill, and then we'll be back for an ending segment. Is that good with you?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, thank you guys that are in the chat. Literally, we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. I gotta hopefully find it here. I might just put the intro screen. I can't see, but yeah, we'll be right back. Audio. All right, welcome back. If you are watching the live show, we took a little break, and now we're back. I'm here with UCF Jaguar, the most popular Jaguars YouTuber ever.
Second most popular. Behind
No. Like ever, right? Like there hasn't been a Jaguars YouTuber that's done more than you, right?
Besides the Jaguars themselves.
That doesn't count. That does not count.
Trying to catch up to them.
Yeah, so
on their coattails.
Shout out to UCF Jaguar for being here. Everyone in the chat is like, "Oh, I should do this more often." Like, if it was up to me, I do this every day. All right, so this is the guy you got to talk to.
We do streams. We just don't do I don't know if it's better in person or if it's.
I think it's better in person.
Yeah, it probably.
Yeah,
is,
I think it is.
But you know.
But Robert Azert says, "No hot mic, lol." I've learned. I've learned.
Yeah.
Give me 2 years and I'll learn not to leave a hot mic going. Patrick Jackson gives "Please don't yell" a shout out. Heck yeah. Ruby says he heard Logan Cook has got a cannon.
Yeah.
Logan Cook was a high school quarterback.
Yeah, dude, he was throwing out the autograph balls, and they were like, yeah, like you could hear the Z's. You can hear him next to Gardner Minshew and really tell, who's got the arm strength.
I love it. That's awesome. DJ M says, "Why do you guys stream every time I go to a birthday party?"
Oh, dude, I can't tell you last time I went to a birthday party.
He either is in a neighborhood full of children with birthday parties, or he's a very popular guy that just knows a bunch of people with birthdays.
Do adults call, like, when they have their birthday get-together, is it called a birthday party?
I don't think so.
Or is it like, hey, it's my birthday, we're going to this bar? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but maybe. I don't know. Zach Lyon says, "I love seeing you boys team up and do these shows for us mere peasants, especially when y'all team up with the crazies at Men in Teal. It always makes for a great show. It's a win-win."
Men in Teal is another live show podcast.
Is it?
Yeah. We haven't teamed up with, or I've gone on their podcast.
Oh, okay.
But
I haven't heard of them. Not that anything against them. I just have never heard of them.
yeah, they're I think they just started up last year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's some Jaguar podcasts out there. I support them all. They're all, anything to spread the name of the Jaguars.
Absolutely.
But it's all about longevity, man. How are you going to stay?
That's true.
You got to get your 1 year plaque, and then it's like, all right, killing it.
We talk all the time about how much work it is to be a Jaguars YouTuber.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people think it's like you watch the Jags, you have an opinion, and then you talk about it. When really that's probably the easiest part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like when it comes into like video editing, learning how to.
Also just learn how to speak, learn how to convey your thought. Because if you go to like my very first videos, like I knew a lot about the Jaguars. Like I could talk Jaguars, but getting in front of a camera, getting in front of the mic, learning how to project your voice, not be like I was super monotone, and you had to do that. Then you had to like edit. Then you had to make like thumbnail artwork, and it really, really, and you just had to have patience for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because and the big thing is like if I were to like stop, I'd have a bunch of people hold me accountable. You know what I mean? Like I have a bunch of people encourage me to make videos, and heck, you guys encouraged me to come out here today because you guys liked my vlog so much. I did film a vlog, so I'm gonna probably be premiering that tomorrow, like I did, kind of like how I did last week. But it's cool, man. I woke up at 4:45 to come to Jacksonville.
Ooh, that's dedication right there.
It is dedication.
I
went to the gym in Jacksonville before, which you guys will see in the vlog.
There you go.
So it's a good time.
I think I might make the vlog, and I would be very happy.
Yeah,
about
you'll be.
That's
in
what
the
I'm
vlog.
talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. But that's good. But yeah, I do appreciate it. Look, the name Jaguars United. We're uniting Jaguar fans. What
did you just say?
I hope I make the vlog. Is what I said.
He makes the vlog. All right, we're in the setup room.
That's right.
We're in the stream, man. We got the names flowing up. All right. What's up, vlog?
Y'all need to watch his vlog and see what my setup looks like.
Yeah.
It's a pretty impressive setup.
Yeah, that's the thing. You guys will see the whole setup tomorrow. And this is the Matt Jones jersey. Let me zoom out. Look at that. It's got just the right amount of fading right here to show that you actually wore the jersey. This is a little too new for me.
Yeah, well, Mojo.
Yeah, Mojo.
He's no Matt Jones, is all I'm going to say.
All right.
This is actually, the Matt Jones is a relic of Joey, if y'all remember Joey. It's a Joey relic. Kev B says, any indicators of defensive scheme front seven alignments?
Oh, it looks totally different, dude. Well, it's hard to, it's hard to even because when I'm excited for preseason to come out just so I can rewatch stuff when with a better
zone
view.
film, yeah.
Because there's just so much going on there with like I said today, Chason was in coverage with a tight end like 20 yards down the field.
I love it.
And then the next play, he's in a 3-point stance, like, rushing in the gap. So it's like, there's a lot of stuff. And not only that, there's just a lot of new names in there, man. Like Malcolm Brown, has Samoan hair coming down. I was like, is that J2 Felling? I was like, oh, it's Malcolm Brown. Like, it's just like a lot of new names. We got a lot of new guys in there. Like, I just need to study up on them. But a lot of times in these, one thing I wish we had today, I wish we had more like one-on-ones. Like, I love like the tight end, defensive end drills where they're just like going one-on-one. Yep. Because like usually when you watch these scrimmages, like I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence and then like, but it was weird at the scrimmage today because it was the number 1 offense going against the number 2 defense, and number 2 offense versus the number 1 defense. It was strange. It was like that the whole time. I don't ever remember that in the past, but it was just cool. Like, because even on the intercom, it was like Laviska Shenault 6-yard reception. They're like calling out names and stuff. Like, I've never seen them so active, and it's cool to see.
I mean, and I've never heard of them being so anti fans filming. Right? You said
they must have watched my freaking my vlog or something, because like JP's chatter, it's like, you guys can't film past this, so no YouTube videos, no Facebook, wherever you guys post them. I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
you're saying this to this odd man literally at the back of the bleachers, just standing there with my phone, and like I just like posted. I don't know. It's a stupid rule though, because it's like, look, if you're not getting any competitive advantage, like there's not like if Bill Belichick wanted to get film, just go there with the highest sense of technology. Go there with someone, just put on glasses, and I don't know. And you got preseason coming up. It's not like they're out here running double reverse flea flickers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like diving deep in the playbook. I don't know.
It's not like they had like Tebow running gadget plays.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it was just standard. Like, okay, you're a running back draw to the left, then you have the you're throwing a fly to the right. Like, I don't know.
Zach Lyon says, UCF, don't forget I helped get Colin Johnson on your show. It makes me feel important.
Which one said that?
Zach Lyon.
Oh, Zach. Yeah, man. Dude, what's funny is we like spammed his video. Then Jordan Smith, that's his name, right?
Jordan? Yeah.
Yeah, like a bunch of people went on his thing, and then he commented on my video. He's like, yo, let's link up. I'm like, hell yeah. And I commented, I'm like, yo, I'll hit you on Instagram. And he goes, no, DM like and it was like his agency or something like that, and I DM'd them, and I just didn't get a response. So I'm like, all right, like, like
Cool.
Jordan Smith. I mean, he just came up with a YouTube channel, and he's not like a high-profile name. So I mean, I can get people over there, get them on my channel, get them an interview. But
you got Jordan Smith on?
No, I was trying to. But he told me to hit up his agency.
Oh,
and then his agency, like, they haven't hit me back on Instagram. So
maybe because he's a rookie and he's just like, doesn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, it was easy to set up with Colin Johnson.
Yeah. Huh, I like that, though.
Yeah.
DJM says, guys, any chance Gardner wins the starting
No.
job?
I'm not flying out to Houston week 1 to watch Gardner Minshew. And I don't think Urban Meyer let the Fox booth to be like, you know what, Trevor, you're good, but we want you to learn behind Minshew, who's been in this offense for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, I am just going to say this, okay? I am not advocating. I am just saying, giving information to the people. I have an insider for the Jags team.
Oh, snap.
I get some information, and it sucks because this insider is so well connected that I can't even tell people because it's like, I can't. Like Tebow. I knew about Tebow like in January. Like that, like it happened a long time ago for people that don't know. This same insider told me, and it wasn't off any knowledge, it was off of a gut feeling. He told me that Gardner's going to be starting week 1.
No.
I know. And look, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I am not saying it's going to happen, and I don't think it will, and I don't think it should. I am just telling you the same person that gives me like a lot of accurate information about the team told me that he thinks Gardner's going to start week 1.
Can I get like credit for my flight, or how does that work?
I mean,
but like Trevor's getting like all the rest with the ones though. Like,
and look, it doesn't make sense to me either, and I'm not advocating it. Again, I'm not advocating. I don't think it'll happen, but I am just passing along the info. This same person was sending me pictures of training camp, and I was like, "Can I post this on Twitter?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can post this one." I was like, "All right." So like, I get, just saying. And that was a gut for him. It wasn't like a information thing.
we need to call him and get the like, whoa, like do like the voice
the
modifier.
voice scramble.
I was in a meeting room with Urban Meyer and I heard, you know what I mean?
Yeah. King David said Minshew is not going to be starting quarterback. Your friend is wrong, sir. Now, I didn't say he was a friend. I just said he was an insider. That's all I said. Insider. And I only call him an insider because he has fed me information that is turned out to be true a lot, including Tebow months and months and months ago.
Unbelievable.
Okay. DJ M says, let's go. Patrick Jackson says, I'd be amazed if Gardner started in week 1, but even if he does, we'll pump the Texans because they gutted themselves.
You got my mood a little bit down.
Do you think that Deshaun Watson starts for the Texans this year?
No.
I mean, nothing's happened yet. We're getting close.
Yeah, but he's not going to play for the Texans. I mean, I don't think if he doesn't, he might not play for anybody, but I see him not playing at all this year over him playing any snaps for the Texans. Because he's like doing scout team stuff, and now he's doing the same Jalen Ramsey, like I have like he has the same agent.
Yeah, he did.
So he's pulling that stuff too. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I give the guy credit. Like that David Mulawala guy, whatever. He's a pretty good agent, and he gets these guys big deals. And, I mean, he knows how to work the system, and I mean, who would want to play for them, man? What a train wreck that is.
I mean, I guess if you're just for the money, looking out for yourself, if they can give you a contract. I mean, I've heard what's his name, Davis Mills.
Yeah,
apparently he's looking pretty good. That's
pretty good.
That's all I'm gonna say.
You know who else is looking pretty good? Gardner Minshew.
It's crazy that the AFC South, all these teams need quarterbacks in the AFC South. I mean, besides the Titans. I mean, if Tannehill went down, I you know me, I love my hypotheticals, right?
Yeah.
If Tannehill goes down early in this season, is Gardner Minshew on the short list of quarterbacks that could still lead them to the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like,
I mean,
he's just on a short list. Like that's the thing. Like if a guy gets hurt and they need to salvage the season, Gardner Minshew would probably be a guy you go after.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
That's why you hold on to him.
Yeah. King David. Now I will say this: if Minshew did start, he must have completely outdid Trevor in the new playbook. I mean, you said it. Urban came here for Trevor.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's outside of Urban's realm to start Trevor like week 4. I know. And like if you start like really thinking about it, like
when was the last number 1 overall pick to not play week 1?
But
then Trevor Lawrence is like the most generational of all of them.
I know, but Urban is like different. Urban is different,
flip
dude.
This table.
Urban is different. Like he's the guy that I could if you were like, what coach could you see doing that? I'd be like Bill Belichick, maybe Urban Meyer. That would be my like, you know what I mean? Like so. And look, if you think about it, if Walker Little and Cam Robinson are fighting for that left tackle spot and you're alternating them every series, do I want Trevor Lawrence back there? A serious question. You're the one that said it. He's a generational guy. Priority number 1 is protecting him. Is it not?
Yes, it is.
For the future. And if it's to prevent a Joe Burrow type situation to happen, would you be okay with not him starting till week 4?
Well, that'd be ridiculous because why did they not? They had so much money, they could have signed somebody.
Maybe the Walker Little was their answer, but he just needs time to develop into that starting spot.
Oh my gosh, Urban Meyer wants to go to the playoffs like this year.
Every coach wants to go to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I think your insider is full of shit. And
it's not.
And I don't like him. And yeah, I'm not going to stand by that. Okay, Trevor Lawrence is starting week 1. Okay.
I'm all right. Saying.
I was inside of the training camp today, which I don't know if that makes me an insider, but I was inside of something.
Makes you inside.
I'm inside of the studio. You know what I mean? I'm inside of the stream.
Yes.
And my inside knowledge says that
Trevor was starting.
Yeah, Trevor's a beast, and he's my best friend. And
I agree with you.
I was going to see if I could hopefully get his autograph today. If not autograph, I was going to try to get like an autograph or maybe be his roommate. You know what I mean? Like be his friend.
Roommate, you have a house in Orlando. How's that going to work out?
I would just, hey, Trevor. He can pay my mortgage.
And he's married.
Yeah, but I mean,
you have to take on 2 people.
Yeah, but they have a dog.
Now you're taking on 2 people and a dog.
Just take a room, dude. You don't need them there.
You do have a 4-bedroom. So
I do.
Patrick Jackson says, I wouldn't want to see Minshew traded anywhere in the AFC South. Peter Seaman says, I wanted to get Tyrod Taylor a long time ago. I don't think we can count him out even with a bad Houston team. I forgot Tyrod Taylor was there. I used to like Tyrod Taylor.
He's like the most like, and he's actually in a situation this year where usually he goes somewhere and it's like they draft a quarterback in the first round. But this year, The Texans did use their first pick on a quarterback. It just happened to be in the 3rd round. So
I got a bunch of shit when I said that Tyrod Taylor was. I would rather have Tyrod Taylor than Nick Foles. I got so much shit. Literally, it's one of the takes I got the most backlash for in my life. And who's laughing now? Nobody, because they're both bad.
You're laughing.
We're all crying.
Because this guy is a little bit worse than this guy.
King David says Minshew did have an unconventional coach in college that made him look great. It wasn't like he was unconventional running like some unconventional playbook, though. I mean, the dude literally ran the West Coast offense with short passes.
God, I am like so
okay.
About
You're right. Yeah, okay. That's fair.
I'm not mad, but it's like, dude, like that's why I'm so excited for the season to start because like, it's like, man, Minshew is just such a talking point. I'm like, why?
Because
we got Trevor Lawrence.
He's a talking point because he has value,
dude. Like last year. What were some of, like, after the first 2 games, what were some of the closest games that the Jaguars were in?
The Jaguars roster was one of the worst rosters I've ever seen.
Tell me, what were some of the closest games?
So, I mean, there was a stretch there where they were losing by, like, 4. You know,
give us some teams.
Like the Packers game.
Okay, Jake Luton started that game.
Okay, all right. I mean, last year's not a good example.
And Vikings.
I'm not taking last year.
Vikings went into overtime with Mike Glennon.
I am not.
The Browns, they had Mike Glennon.
Okay, what about week 1? Win against the Colts.
Yeah, but after the first 2 weeks, when things started unraveling, when the whole team was unraveled,
okay,
Minshew was.
If Tom Brady was back there, how many wins would that team have had?
I don't know. I'm not
4.
I like
that team was horrible.
If Trevor Lawrence was a starting quarterback last year, I bet we get at least 4 more wins.
I don't know, man. I don't think the quarterback play was the biggest problem on the team. I think the fact the defense couldn't stop anybody.
Yeah, that's true. But the offense also wasn't moving at all.
I think we're talking about Minshew so much because he does have value. And the guy is a fringe starter with one of the worst teams around him I've ever seen.
I'm about to start rooting against Minshew in training camp. He had a really bad interception today. I will say that.
Okay.
Very bad interception.
But we talked about it. He's been one of the more impressive players in camp this year.
Not on that throw. I'm going to focus on that throw.
That's fine.
He was 0 for 1 with 1 pick in my eyes.
Base Mover says, although Minshew and Treadwell do seem like a very great duo.
Which ones?
Minshew and Treadwell.
Yeah, it's a duo of a lifetime.
Rooks.
Very excited for Minshew Treadwell. Let's get it going.
What do they have in common? They're both playing for different teams by the end of the season. Rooks says, Jags United, you even said yourself, things change quickly. So trust me, whatever whispers you hear of Minshew as starter will be long gone. Start of the season, brother. T-Law. I agree with you.
So why did you reveal?
I agree with you.
Why did you reveal the Minshew today, but not the Tebow back in January? You would have been king.
Because Tebow. Because I actually this dude told me like not to reveal the Tebow thing yet because it was like in the works. Alexa.
So now he's like, but you can reveal Minshew.
Like literally before Tebow even retired from the Mets, I knew about it, but I couldn't say anything because I don't want to lose my insider. And look, again, I will say this again. The insider said that it was his gut feeling told him Minshew was going to start, not any information.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
I would cry. I would probably, my God.
His gut feeling.
You guys, if they announce Minshew starting quarterback, you guys are going to get a good video from me.
Okay. I agree. But I agree with your other point. We got to protect Lawrence more. I don't want him to end up like Joe Burrow. And if this team's not good enough to keep him healthy, I don't want him out there until we have Walker Little, Ben Bartch, Norwell, Linder, and Taylor. That's who I want. That's the 5 I want blocking for Trevor Lawrence. And how many weeks is it going to take to get there? 3, 4?
Yeah.
That's my point. King David agrees with you, though, not me.
Thank you, King David.
Tiger King, don't count Gardner. Yeah, Tiger King, don't count Gardner out. He has that Florida man in him.
Guys, tell us right now. Are you on Team Jason or Team
UCF?
No,
I am not. I am not. I'm not taking.
This is a competition now.
This is how it happens. This is how people are like, oh, dude, Jason wants Gardner Minshew to start. I do not want Gardner Minshew to start. I want Trevor Lawrence to start.
I think you want him to start.
Let that be said. I want Trevor Lawrence to start.
I think you're a degenerate gambler and you bet on this. Knowing you got money on this.
Half that statement is true. I'll let you decide which one. Junior Jags Press, who also has a Jaguars YouTube channel, says preseason first quarter Trevor Lawrence, second quarter Gardner Minshew, second half CJ Beathard? ?
I think preseason week 1, if Minshew runs out there with the backup O-line, then Minshew's backup.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Then they don't care about as much about.
I think the only player that they would protect from injury and playing in preseason would be Trevor Lawrence, right? Maybe Miles Jack. Is there anyone else? Maybe Shaq Griffin.
Yeah.
Is that it? I mean, that's probably it, right?
I mean, just the veterans.
DJ M says he's team Jason Son. So there's one. Patrick says he's team T-Law.
Yeah, DJ M literally has a Gardner Minshew profile pic.
I like it. People seem to be on team. I'm not against your team. I'm not against Trevor Lawrence. Okay, please don't spread that rumor.
We're along the lines of like, I don't know, not necessarily what I'd rather start, but it's just like I think the logic behind like
for sure.
I don't know. Like we knew exactly what the O line was this year, and I don't know. I mean, we could have upgraded if we wanted to give Trent Williams $100 million. How much he got? Could have done. I don't know.
Well, you remember back in the day, you used to sit your quarterback a year before they started, and if you look back at quarterbacks that sat, they have a pretty good track record of being good. That's
but we don't have Brett Favre. You know what I mean?
Do you expect?
And who was the other? Alex Smith. Alex Smith was better than Gardner Minshew.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
And also, Patrick Mahomes was like he wasn't Trevor Lawrence coming out. He was like this guy has a lot of talent, but he throws a lot of picks. He's a gunslinger type of guy.
Okay, well, all right. Rook says, I do love you guys, and I love this Jaguar community. You both make awesome Jaguar content. I'm so excited for the season. Let's win the AFC South. Duval. Yeah,
I like it.
Thank you, Rooks. Thank you.
DJ says, guys, this is Jaguars United, not divided. There's always good time for debate.
Hey, look, we're having a great time, man.
We disagreed with everything each other said. You know.
I mean, does anyone really think I want Minshew to start? Because I do not want Minshew to start.
Oh, you don't?
I don't know how many times I can say that.
Thought you made it pretty clear you wanted
Tiger King says if we have two quarterbacks, we will be fine. That's true. The only thing worse than having two quarterbacks is having no quarterbacks. Slayer G1 says, I like Minshew and I want him to start ... with another team. Would like to see him traded to give him a chance. I agree with that 100%. That's how I stand.
So,
me and Slayer G1, we're on the same page.
See, the thing with me is like I was actually like I was in a press book Gardner Minshew. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I was like the biggest Gardner Minshew hater. I'm like, this is like cool. But now like all this Gardner Minshew talk about how like people were like valuing him. I'm like,
we've changed your mind, is what you're saying.
No, I know it's bringing me back to like, all right, Gardner, you suck.
I like Gardner. I just like him. He gave us a spark of hope, man, when we had nothing.
He's got a hardener for Gardner.
I got a hardener for Gardner. I do like that. Kev B says, record estimate for Central's Jets. They got a tough division of defense.
I'm like so tuned out of the Jets. See, the thing about the Jets is like Jaguars have such an easier path to the playoffs because we don't have like the Bills and the Dolphins and the I don't know how good the Patriots going to be, but like I mean, especially the Bills. The Bills like. I mean, as long as Josh Allen stays where he is, I mean that's probably at least a 12-5 team. The Titans might regress, and I think an underrated loss was the offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Yeah, because they had been struggling finding an offensive coordinator. They found one, and then he's gone.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll regress. It's because they have so many players on that team.
I don't think they lost a lot of veterans.
I mean, running backs fall off quick.
Yeah, that's the thing. At some point, Henry in the next 4 years is, I mean, Adrian Peterson was so dominant, but now most of Adrian Peterson's NFL career, he's just been like a
solid guy.
Yeah,
for sure. Visible Color says, shouldn't we just start whoever's better in camp? No, and I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be your starter and will be your starter, but I am concerned about the whole Joe Burrow thing, right? Like. I don't see us in too much of a different situation than Cincinnati was in last year. As far as
I think our offensive line is way better. I think Gardner Minshew made our offensive line look way worse than it was.
There was plays you could point to, but I think as a whole, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they were so banged up last year.
Because the thing is, like, literally Joe Mixon can't run anywhere because his offensive line is horrible. We had a 1,000-yard rusher with James Robinson.
Yeah, that's
true. What I mean? They were opening up holes. It's just like, even today I was looking, like, Gardner Minshew, he drops back, and he can't see the middle of the field very well because the guys are so big, and he just like jumps into sacks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and obviously I think Urban Meyer's kind of with us. They didn't do anything to the offensive line.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I mean Walker Little.
Yeah, but that's not a today guy. That's
I mean,
this guy's gonna.
Be.
I mean, I definitely think it could be too, but like, you know,
it wasn't the intention.
They didn't go out with their second round pick.
Yeah,
you know, and
true.
say, okay, now we're gonna get our. I mean,
Junior Jags Press says the Jets are lucky they got wide receiver Elijah Moore. He's going to be a star. I like Elijah Moore.
He's getting a lot of hype.
I do like Elijah. He torched the Gators. Do you remember that Ole Miss Florida game? I was like, who is this guy? You drafted him with the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, I liked him. A lot of people were hyping up Rondale Moore, and it was like a Rondale Moore versus Kadarius Toney thing. I didn't like Rondale Moore that much.
No, I didn't either.
His tape reminded me a lot of like Anthony Miller, where it was like, you know, these guys, like he had like one really good game, but other than that, it's like, okay, like, you know, he's strong. He can. Who else? He also reminds me of like Christian Kirk.
He's like 5'8".
Yeah, he's like really short.
I don't want to 5'8" guy.
I mean, he can squat a lot, but like literally his stuff was like his highlight reel was like get him on a slant, then he like runs and like outruns a cornerback and gets pushed out 15 yards. You know, it's like it's okay. He's speedy, but like I don't know
what happens when you get in the NFL and they take good angles and they're fast too. Pokey443 says hello.
Hello.
And I think he/she is talking to you because no one cares about me that much. Invisible Colors, best running back ever in your opinion. Hoo-hoo!
Ever?
I
mean, I had to go in my lifetime because I can't really attest
That's
to
fine.
O.J. Simpson. The best running
No pun
back,
intended?
Yeah, no pun intended. All right.
I have no testimony against O.J. Simpson.
Jeez, who is the best? Well, it's like crazy because I would like to say, like, because there's different types of running backs.
That's like, not what they're asking. They're asking you who is the best running back in your lifetime. Because there's a gun to your head. You get one answer. Who are you going to say?
Oh, man, dude.
There's a gun to your head. Like, literally, like, you're about to die.
The thing is, I'm going to... Okay. At the top of my head, I would just say Adrian Peterson.
Okay, all right.
Like, at the top of my head.
Right. That's good.
But then I also sit here and think, like, Alvin Kamara is pretty good, but it's like, there's so much different.
Yeah, no. I would rather have McCaffrey than Kamara.
Yeah, probably.
But just to say to that point... But Barry Sanders was ridiculous. I mean, I think for me, he's my best of all time. I got Adrian Peterson, Fred Taylor. Again, this is my lifetime. Adrian Peterson, Fred Taylor, Emmitt Smith. Although I didn't watch too much of him, but I watched enough to know that he was really good. Maurice Jones-Drew. I'm a big Maurice Jones-Drew fan. I think he belongs in that conversation. Jesus is king.
Do you think MJD belongs in the best running back of all time?
Do you think these jerseys aren't on my wall by accident? I got the goats up here.
That's true.
Including Matt Jones.
I mean, you put a Matt Jones up there, you know, you got to be up to that level.
Jesus is King says, what wideouts make the team with all... There's a lot of questions about the...
Yeah, that was a question earlier. It's
That's
a good question.
Fine. Hey, for $5, I'll answer it 15 times.
We'll reiterate.
Yeah, what wideouts make the team with this depth chart?
There's 3 roster locks. You think 4?
I think 4.
I don't know if there's 4.
You don't think Colin Johnson's a roster lock?
Not necessarily. I do think that he's like the 4. I think he's 90% in. So I don't know
that's close. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's a close lock.
Yeah.
I mean, I could always see the situation.
So we'll say those 4.
Okay, so the 4, there's Chark, Laviska Shenault, Colin Johnson, and Marvin Jones. Those 4 locked in. And then I was saying Treadwell is the 5th, and then Pharoh Cooper is the 6th.
Wow. Pharoh Cooper, huh? And Treadwell. I don't think I have any of those guys on making the team for me. I have Shenault, Chark, Johnson, Jones, obviously the 4 locks.
Who's your final 2?
I think they're going to designate Agnew as a receiver, and I think Jalen Camp makes it as a receiver as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Jalen Camp's game. It's obvious that the Jags like big receivers. I just don't think there's any room on this roster for a 5'11", 200-pound Pharoh Cooper. And like I know he's playing well, but I just don't think there's any room for him on this roster. That's not what Urban wants.
Because what's his face? Agnew is out right now. He's injured.
Yeah, he is.
So it's like if he starts the season injured, Pharoh Cooper's on the roster.
The dude's getting paid like $5 million, dude. There's no way he's not on
Well,
the roster.
I don't mean Agnew's going to get cut. I mean, like, what if he gets...
Yeah.
I don't know what the seriousness of his injury is. He hasn't practiced at all.
I don't think they would sign him if it was serious.
No, but I mean, like, when did he get hurt? Because they signed him back in March.
I know, but yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he might have got, like, an off season because he just kind of started off in the injury report and no one said anything about it. You know what I mean?
That's true. And you brought up a good point. They had, like, you did see something that designated him as a DB. And if they feel like they could kind of squeeze him on the back end as a DB, then maybe we can have room for a Treadwell, or we have room for a Cooper. I mean, neither one of us mentioned Philip Dorsett.
I don't think Philip Dorsett makes it.
And again,
and he wasn't even playing today.
Yeah, I mean, a 5'10", 190-pound receiver. There's just no room on this roster for that. I mean, unless you're a kick returner.
I mean, he just can't catch the ball, and that's
he spreads the field. But
good. He's fast, but that's about it.
DJM has a good question about Trevor Lawrence starting. He says, "Is he a starter or a backup in fantasy?"
Oh, I think starter.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I'm probably draft because I'm a type of fantasy guy where I don't draft quarterbacks high. I usually wait till about 9 or 10 get off the board.
Yeah.
Like last year, I was able to like squeeze in Josh Allen in my leagues, and I won both of those leagues. And I mean, I'm hoping this is the only year I can get Lawrence because next year he goes like top 5.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I'm going to take him in my league because I'm in one league out of my 4 that are like big money that are all Jags fans. So my other 3 leagues, I'm gonna take Lawrence as my second quarterback. In that one league, though, I think I'm gonna reach for him, and that's an auction league. So what I usually try to do is I usually try to drive the price up on Jaguars, so that other people.
Yeah, I haven't done an auction league before.
Oh, dude, they're 100% times better than normal.
Some of my leagues are boring. Is like, you guys want to do a keeper? No, we're good.
Auction.
We want to redraft.
If for anyone in the chat, anyone watching, if you have never done an auction league, you need to do an auction league for money. Yeah. It literally takes all luck out of it.
Yeah.
So like if you're we've all been in that league where the auto drafted team has like won or done really well, and you're like, wow, this is gay. Sorry for the reference, but in the auction league, if you auto auction, or you have no chance at winning.
Yeah.
So you need to get auction league going. You have to literally map out who you want. You have to target them. You have to target how much money you're willing to bid on them. It's way better. Way better.
Dude, the auto draft teams are funny because they'll wind up getting like
the best players ever.
No, not in my case. Like they'll end up drafting like who's a running back for the Rams that got hurt? Like
the Florida State kid.
Yeah, why can't I think of his name?
Cam Akers.
Yeah, they'll be like Cam Akers got drafted and like I don't know, they just fill out the starting roster first.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, but I'm telling you, auction's the way to go. Robert Adler says Philip Dorsett will play good one day and drop every ball the next.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see him today, so. And it was funny, one time, someone, like, asked me, they're like, hey, can I share your video on my blog site? Like, it was, like, dualpride.com. I never heard of it, so I went to the website, and it was pretty cool. He shared it, and one guy said, he's like, because I did a training up and down video, he's like, man, like, I like the video and everything, but I wish, like, he would tell us what he's seen from camp as opposed to what other people have seen. I'm like, unfortunately, I can't go out there every day. And that's one thing that drives me nuts about training camp is, like, I have to take what other people say, and it's really annoying.
Well, it's only
because
for a couple
I
weeks.
have my own takes on stuff. Yeah.
That's not about training camp. It's only for a couple weeks. And to be honest, training camp usually means nothing. They usually, I mean, remember we were all talking about Alan Lazard a couple years ago, and he ended up getting cut. I know he ended up being good, but like it doesn't matter until you put the pads on. Splinter Cell Allen says everyone looks to be really trying hard at practice.
Yeah, they're trying. Okay. Else they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Got to sell some cars after they get cut.
I'm not going to say his name correctly.
Dominguez.
I don't know why I was having trouble with that.
It's not super hard.
Dominguez Rocky says, how good is this defense?
Stellar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's we'll have to see. I don't know. It's they were getting a little bit worked by the second team offense at some points. So,
well, I mean, we're coming up on an hour and a half on a show, which I think is a great. I mean, this has been awesome.
We've been killing it.
I do for people
this is
that
like the length of a movie.
A good movie.
Yes. But this movie, you can put us in your ear and do laundry.
That's true. Mow the lawn.
Yeah.
Other
Make
things
your
like that.
Pool not green.
I'm working on it. Okay. So for those that jumped into the show maybe later than when we started, you did go to training camp today.
I did.
And so for the people that weren't here at the very beginning, an hour and a half ago, give us your thoughts again on what you saw, what you thought about training camp today.
I thought it was good. Trevor Lawrence looked really cool. Really cool. That was a weird way to say.
Right,
Trevor Lawrence looked really good at the.
You were trying to be friends with him, so I could see you practicing.
Someone said they're like, Trevor, can I have your headband? And I was like, Trevor, can I have some of your hair?
You did not.
I said that out loud. I didn't care. I mean, everyone knew I was joking. It was just like, it's so funny. Like, people were asking for his headband. I'd be like, if I had Trevor Lawrence's headband, I don't know if I would. Like, do you wash it or do you?
No, you don't wash it.
Yeah,
so come on.
And then you have a disgusting headband.
You wear it anytime you play backyard football. Yeah. You tell people how it's Trevor Lawrence's headband.
Yeah, you just wear it to the gym every day. It's like, this is Trevor Lawrence's headband. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence was great because the first practice I went to, he was kind of down, but it was like all scrimmage today pretty much, which was really cool. James Robinson, unfortunately, was out. Carlos Hyde got a lot of first-team reps, which was weird to me. Colin Johnson got a lot of balls from Trevor Lawrence. Chason stood out to me today. It was cool. They were doing like a lot of rotation with the linebackers. Like, it was like every play, they were like doing a three-way cycle between Miles Jack, Joe Schobert, and Damian Wilson. So wow. That was interesting. They were doing like a musical chairs. So it was like they're on the field kind of with each other. Campbell has some work to do when it comes to zone coverage, I thought. CJ Henderson was finally back, which was good to see. And Travis Etienne is fast. Those are some of my thoughts at the top of my head.
I like that. Well, man, that's good, man. And I appreciate you coming on here. I mean, everyone in the chat has just been talking about how much they enjoyed this.
I know.
So we'll have to do some more. I mean, we do remote shows all the time.
Yeah, remote shows are still good.
Yeah, so we still do those. So make sure you follow. Obviously, if you're here, you already follow UCF Jaguar. But if you don't, make sure you follow him and subscribe to him so that you can get up-to-date notifications. I kept getting notifications about your shows like hours later.
Yeah, YouTube has an issue.
And I was like, why am I not getting these notifications when they're live? And so I went into my settings. I like refreshed it to make sure I got like the updates. But like, man, like YouTube's
what I started doing is I started on Instagram. You can do countdowns until certain times. So say like on live show tonight at 9:00, I can set it on there and it'll do like 4 hours and it'll do a countdown.
Okay, that's
cool. You can set notifications on there and then Instagram will alert you when it happens. And then some people have been doing that, which kind of helps a little bit. If that's
yeah, no, I mean that's something that definitely I can look into. I don't ever plan my shows in advance, and I don't ever post on Instagram, so that would be two glaring issues with that. But I can try. But dude, thank you so much for coming, dude. Like I always love talking with you. It's even better in person. Oh yeah, obviously. If you didn't live in Orlando, I would have you on for the next like 7 hours, and we would just sit here and talk all day.
Yeah, we could sit here, talk, get a bunch of drinks.
Dude, imagine if we had our own like a 4-hour daily radio show. We would kill it.
That's we'd have some polls in here. Have a whole show in here. It'd be sick.
Yeah, hey.
And all you guys would be coming over.
We're working on it. Give us a couple years, and I think we'll have something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. You guys are going to be a part of it.
What's going to happen when they call us up and they want to have a 2-hour radio show here, local radio for you and me? Are you going to be able to come up here and do the radio show?
I'm going to be coming up here, man.
All right. Sounds good. I'm working on it.
10XL HMU.
Yeah, hey, I got an insider.
Oh, he's got the insider. All right, let him know. After the whole Garner thing goes down. I got an
insider. But hey, thank you for everyone that was in the chat. Thank you for all the donations. A bunch of pound donations. It was awesome.
It's gonna see if we do a late radio show. I need the chat with me though, because the chat moves the conversation.
Well, they have the text line.
Yeah,
that's what true. I guess you have the text line, and the call-ins. You have the people calling in. So, and you've done the call-in shows, so you know what the abyss that can become.
Yeah, it can become. You're opening up a Pandora's box there. I had this one guy usually calls into like college football shows. And he called into my show, and he was like a drunk Gator fan. He's like, I don't understand why. Like, why is Lawrence better than Trask? I'm like,
it's like, sorry, buddy.
It's like, I know you're a Gator fan. Don't mean to rip on your guys.
Well, Patrick Jackson, thank you for moderating the chat. I really appreciate that. Man, that's awesome that you were here. Everyone that was here, Tiger King, Zach Lyon, Jesus King, DJ M, Robert Azar, everyone. Sorry if I don't mention you. You guys were all awesome. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, his channel. Follow us on Twitter. All the stuff's there. If you're watching this later, make sure you subscribe to our channels because we do live shows all the time. And you can see us do live shows. You can be a part of the chat, which kind of moves it along.
And also the chat's over here, too, on the screen. You got to point to it.
Chat's
No, other way.
Here, this way. Okay.
I was going to point to it, but I was then like.
Chat's this way. Oh, yeah. Chat's this way. So thank you guys at UCF. Thank you, man.